What is this? Hold on.
I was so scared of saying I.
Oh my god, that's such a base tweet. I shouldn't make it, and now I have to. Oh my god, I have to. Why did you put that in chat? Now I have to make that tweet. That's such a good tweet. Oh, that's such a good tweet. Oh no. Wait, did anybody else make this tweet? No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't do it. I want to make the Holocaust tweet, but I shouldn't do it. Ruby Burgess was 6 years old. She became the first black student at integrated elementary school in the 1960s. Colin Harris was born at 64. I'm like, okay, and the Holocaust was 1942. What's your point? Fuck. I shouldn't do it, though. There's no point. There's literally no point. I'm not doing it. There's no reason to do this. We don't need to do this right now. Okay.
I am a woman, and then instantly hearing, no, you're not. Because in my head, I fought with.
Can I listen? Okay. And this isn't, I'm not even singling her out because she's trans. All right. Because I see women on camera do this as well. All right. Somewhere over the past 10 years, it became acceptable to have the most insane foundation mismatch ever. All right. Either wear a turtleneck or match your goddamn foundation. This is like 20 shades off. Unacceptable. This is almost blackface, okay? I don't know when... women do this too, also. This isn't just a trans thing. Not ordinary... Whew, careful. I was cisnormative for a second there. Cisgender women do this as well, okay? Match your goddamn foundation. What?
I'm officially no ballsing you. Do it.
There's no point. I don't even know. All the lefties like me right now, okay? All the ones that hated me before are liking me now, so I'm just going to stay on their good side for... I just want to enjoy that for like 2 weeks, okay?
Okay.
Tweet the tweet. Tweet the tweet. Tweet the tweet.
Who the fuck are you? Oh, Paul's. Oh. Okay.
I was so scared of saying I am a woman, and then instantly hearing.
Take off your shirt. I guarantee you have 20 shades difference. Okay, number one, I don't because I never go outside. Number two, even if I did, that's the difference between a tan and foundation. This is not a tan. This is just a lot of foundation that is not matched with the underlying skin color. So fuck you.
No, you're not. Because in my head, I fought with that every day.
This is 1 year ago. Wait, why the fuck was I even linked this? And I hate the Zoomer hairstyle. Fuck me. I'm getting old. God, I hate this hair. I hate this. All right, I don't care. Don't care. Don't watch this. And I'm old. I understand. Okay, the mega thread. The two main accusations are Eva and Shadman. Old tweets resurfaced from Ava's Twitter in which she was fawning over law. Okay, don't care. Ava was accused of having sexually explicit conversations with a minor, including grooming. The minor, which is alleged to be involved, has since come out to shoot down the allegations. Okay, this is it. What a waste of fucking time. We used to rate people on the internet, okay? Back in the day. This is cringe.
Wrong, and for you to make up these lies and create these narratives is just wrong. Also, when you interviewed me for a supposed editing job, why did you lie? Okay. Also, when you interviewed me for a supposed editing job, why did you lie? So you can take the clips out of context. This is disgusting. So, what's your response to that?
Well, I was told to just wait until the video to address this, but I'm fine with addressing it right here, really quick. So the Twitter messages, they are authentic. Chris, he's like this super creepy dude. If he said any of these things in person, he would have been arrested and removed from middle school grounds because adults, they cannot talk to kids like that.
What? I think that there's a crime called the I want to say defecation of a minor. It's not that. It's not sexualization of a minor. It's is it corruption of a minor? What am I thinking of? Does anybody know what I'm thinking of? It's not desecration. Isn't there a name? It might just be corruption of a minor. Corruption of a minor, charge, Florida. Let's just see what it's like in Florida. Any person who commits any act which causes, tends to cause, encourages, or contributes to a child becoming a delinquent or dependent child or a child in need of services. That's not it. Well, or induces or endeavors to induce by act, threat, command, or persuasion a child commit or perform any act, follow any course of conduct, or live in a manner that causes or tends to cause such child to become or to remain a dependent or delinquent child or a child in need of services, commits a misdemeanor of the first degree or punishment. It is not necessary for any court exercising jurisdiction to make any. And then a person 21 years of age or older who impregnates a child under 16 years of age commits an act of child abuse, which constitutes a felony of the third degree. Okay, this isn't really it. Or different states might have different laws for this. The idea that, like, telling a joke to a minor, like, am I going to go to jail? 'Cause I stopped doing this, but I used to, because I was so into your mom jokes. I used to tell Nathan, like, I used to say, like, fuck your mom jokes. Because it worked, but I was like, I probably should make these jokes too.
It's like this super creepy dude. If he said any of these things in person, he would have been arrested and removed from middle school grounds because adults, they cannot talk to kids like
Is that illegal? Arrest me, okay? Put me in the slammer, chief.
that. I'd love to hear his opinion about the tweets since he wants to say that, like, I'm in the wrong or I took it out of context. We'll put it into context then, Lava, because I showed the tweets. And, you know, I asked you, would you care to comment about it? You didn't.
Nathan is your son? That's very different. Okay, hold on. I'm only addressing these because you guys should know this. Number one, I'm pretty sure that the highest likelihood for abuse for children, I think, is family members. And then, like, babysitters and teachers. It's people who spend a lot of time around them with in positions of power. Let me check this. I'll Google this since I'm trying to correct you, and I don't want to be incorrect. Who is the most likely person to sexually abuse a child? Most often, sexual abusers know the child they abuse but are not relatives. Oh, okay. So 60% are non-relative acquaintances, such as friend of the family, okay, babysitter or neighbor. Usually it's people, I do know that it's usually people who are in positions of power over them for extended periods of time. So that's why I said babysitter and teacher. 30% of those who sexually abuse children are relatives of the child, such as fathers, uncles, or cousins. And then 30% are, that's still a huge number. The idea that just because you're related to somebody means you can't sexually abuse them is completely not true. But it doesn't make 30% up of the child rapists.
You didn't comment about it. Like, I want your opinion about this, but you're not giving it. And I think the reason why is because you know the tweets are real, and you know, like, he was caught or messaging you inappropriately. I think that's why you don't want to respond to it.
Okay, because, I mean, certainly I can understand where people might look at this and think that you're almost trying to turn this person into a victim when they're saying they're not a victim, right? Like, I guess, why is it your right to tell this story when the person that was apparently involved in grooming is saying something totally different?
I mean, I'm just telling you what I found online.
Okay, well,
That's not even a good answer. It's a decent question if Chud knows the answer. I don't know if he does or not. Technically, when you're talking about child sexual abuse, the opinion of the victim is actually not at all relevant. It has actually nothing to do with whether or not they were abused. In fact, there's a lot of good reasons not to take the word of the victim at face value ever. We learned this, for instance, when you look at Romanian sex trafficking laws. The testimony from a victim can never be used to exonerate the accused because you're assuming that if a person has been groomed or if a person is being victimized or sex trafficked, that their mind is fucked anyway and they're going to say whatever. So technically, it really doesn't matter what a victim says or an alleged victim says. They could have still been groomed and felt like they weren't groomed. That's kind of sort of the point of grooming, right? Is you don't realize that something bad is happening. Although you can, right? But
you know, again, just to be clear, I think some of the stuff you showed is extremely troubling and it's worthy of putting out there. But you were also, I think, making links and connections. Like, for example, you talked about how there was an implication that there was some sort of nudes that were sent.
Well, because he literally had messaged him that.
So that was like the Twitter thing, right?
Yes. It was on Twitter. I mean, like, if you go to it.
defend grooming, please. Well, if it's a 30-year-old person grooming a 12-year-old, imagine all the horrible things that a 12-year-old could be exposed to by other children. But if he just has a good adult to guide him,
Advanced Twitter search, and you type in LavaGS's name, those tweets are still up on his site. You can see it right now. I mean, Chris isn't because he deleted his Twitter, but you can see LavaGS's tweets on that are still up right now. And that's the thing is, I think it's really interesting how he wants to say that I was taking it out of context or that I'm in the wrong about this, but then he can't address those tweets. Like, did he or did he not message you those things? Because we literally have screen recordings, dude.
Sure, but I guess the point I'm making is you're saying you're showing what you found online.
Yes.
That's true to a degree, but then you're also editorializing what you found in your video and talking about it and making connections and conclusions.
Well, I
You are
didn't
spinning
make
a narrative.
I didn't make a complete conclusion because I said I don't know if something physically happened to him. All I can show is that Chris Tyson messaged him inappropriately and met up with him 2 years later. I can show that.
We aren't calling Chris a keyword, right? We aren't doing that. We're just showing our stuff, and if people want to make their own, conclusions based on that, that's up to them. But I'm not calling Chris at all that.
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier in the live stream, but I'm not like saying that he ever like physically diddled the kid. I never said that. What I said is that I can prove he messaged him inappropriately, met up with him in person. It might have happened. We honestly don't know, and that's what we kind of need answers for.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would absolutely agree on is I think there's enough here that it does warrant a response from Chris Mr. Beast, the Shadman stuff, and then this. But it's yeah, I don't know. It's difficult because I can also see a narrative or perspective where this person wants to offer some defense or cover for them. But like, I guess again, because there's some stuff that isn't nailed on in the video, that would make a lot stronger case that would kind of discount someone saying, well, it wasn't like this and it wasn't like this, So
Yeah,
so you're going to make another video with a stronger like aspects to it, is that right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a comprehensive video that will blend all the information. It's gonna be more watchable because I'm gonna be honest. There's cicadas, there's birds. I could have done better, but I was under a time crunch because I can't talk about all the details about that.
Why are you under a time crunch? Is this guy about to go become like a fucking preschool teacher, in like 2 weeks? Or what is the time crunch?
Because and it's not about Chris Tyson, but there's like a police investigation, and I can't say anything about that. And so what I did want to say was, hold on. Yeah. Or sorry. Here, I'll let Verdi speak real quick.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I guess everybody. I'm looking at the chat right now. I see everybody saying, "Let's smuggle in." Let's smuggle.
Okay.
I don't know who that
Okay.
is.
Yeah. Smuggle.
Sorry, someone's pinging me right
That's
now.
okay.
So hold on.
Don't worry about it. I'll bring Smuggle in just a moment because Smuggle is.
Nobody's making any sexual jokes online to you, right? No. Yeah, they better not be, because that would be horrible and inappropriate. I'm gonna go through your whole Discord later. If there's any inappropriate jokes there, I'm calling the cops, and you're going to juvie. Bets on a police investigation was opened? Probably 0% chance. Why would that, and how would that impact any of what?
Wait.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I guess everybody. I'm looking at the chat right now. I see everybody saying, "Let's smuggle in." Let's smuggle.
Okay.
I don't know who that
Okay.
is.
Yeah. Smuggle.
Sorry, someone's pinging me right now.
That's
So
okay.
hold on.
Don't worry about it. I'll bring Smuggle in just a moment because Smuggle is connected to some of the YouTubers. Like I think he's worked somewhat with Turkey Tom before, so he may have some information I believe that maybe goes against some of the things you're saying. I'm not 100%. We'll do that in just a moment. But yeah, I mean, I guess that like. Well, let's do it now. Let's do it now. And see what
Okay, sorry. I remember what I was going to say. So,
Go on.
So Lava GS, he's still in contact with Chris. Obviously, he told Chris about this, and his response to this. I don't know if he's actually saying this or Chris is actually saying this. I'm aware that he told us when we were asking him about this sort of stuff. He completely said that there's nothing weird about Chris, but then we know that's not true because of the Shadman stuff. But he was like saying that nothing happened, and that Chris is completely innocent.
We're playing very fast and loose with words there. There's nothing weird about Chris, but we know that about the Shadman. When they say there's nothing weird about Chris, they probably mean he wasn't like grooming or trying to, like, do weird shit in DMs.
Although we were very, so he did think that we were having him edit for us, and that that's why he was telling us all this. Like he
Wait,
was,
so
he was fine.
you tricked him into a
So you
conversation?
fucking baited them.
He was fine.
Wait, let me hold on.
That's not true because of the Shadman stuff. But he was like saying that nothing happened, and that Chris is completely innocent. Although we were very, so he did think that we were having him edit for us, and that that's why he was telling us all this. Like he
Wait,
was,
so
he
you
was
wait a
fine.
second. So you tricked him into a
So you
conversation?
fucking baited them.
He was fine. He was fine with us. Okay, he didn't know why we were interviewing him, basically.
Oh, I understand now. People in chat were posting that this guy's a James O'Keefe fan, a Project Veritas interview fan. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like the reason he said we didn't have to worry about recording around him, but he didn't know that was the reason, and it's because we literally see this guy that is into this pedophile art. He messaged a minor inappropriately, and so I could literally see, like, we tried to reach out to this guy 3 times before, and then we actually get a hold of him. And the thing is, we need to know if something happened to this guy or not. But we knew he's supporting Chris Tyson still, so we had to ask him, like, oh hey, we're making content about these creeps or whatever. We were not molested. We didn't have any groomers or anything. But we said, we had people that talked inappropriately to us. They were trying to send us pictures. Did this thing ever happen to you? And he said, no, this, it didn't happen to me. And then he specifically said, oh, Chris Tyson, there's nothing weird about that guy.
Actually, that's not completely true. He said something like that it might have happened, but he didn't really realize it. I do remember
Oh,
that.
okay, sorry. I misspoke then. Well, here, I think I should let Verdi speak because I'm just going to ramble.
No, it's fine.
No,
I just
no.
feel like Smaggle. Wait. I'll let you go in a second. Okay? I just want to say one thing, right? And I feel like there is a case to be made here, and I think there is information that's worth having out there. And I appreciate you're small and you wanted to hand it off to people, but there has been numerous areas of, I would argue, incompetence in going about this and baiting someone into a conversation, and then now you're getting them coming out saying this video is totally wrong. You understand this very much undermines the case you're trying to make.
Have you ever heard of James O'Keefe and Project Veritas?
Right. I mean, yeah, James O'Keefe is not like the person you should necessarily look as an avatar of success with this stuff.
No,
Some of his investigations are riddled with issues,
James.
like the fucking post office thing, where that guy from the post office got led down with hearsay to act like he'd be able to prove that there was some problem with the fucking votes, and then it didn't transpire and become anything because the guy, was presented as this paragon of someone that could reveal information that didn't happen. You know what I'm talking about, right? The guy that works at the post office. He got, slung to the
there's a
side.
lot of things he does, so I don't know.
Okay,
the
but the
ones
point. Okay,
you're referring to.
okay. I don't want to get too political with it, I guess. Let's just take a step
I
back from
think
the political aspect.
he does amazing work.
But this is the problem.
Oh, no.
Dude, how do you do this without getting super political? I feel like what you've done is you've got someone that you look up to in James O'Keefe, and you've tried to imitate them. And James O'Keefe isn't perfect, but you've done it in a very shitty way. So now there's problems with what you've done. You understand the problems that you presented in doing this, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I do see some of the problems. Yeah. We could definitely did it
Hold on.
but-
Don't speak for him. Let prison talk.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what was the question? Do I see the problems that it caused?
Yes.
I mean, what I
Just, I want to be super clear. I'm trying to think of ethics for journalism. I don't know if I care in this circumstance. There might be reasons why I should care. I don't know if it's necessarily unethical or bad to do sting type operations if you're getting information. So like them pretending to interview him for a job and finding out information. I don't know if that's necessarily bad. I don't even know if that was necessarily a bad thing that O'Keefe did. The bad thing was that they didn't find solid information, or they didn't follow up well on the information they did find, and everything they investigated and then made strong claims about ended up being bullshit, and they deceptively edited their stuff. Those were the really big bad things. Not just the fact that they were like sting or secret interviews. It was the fact that they didn't find much, but they tried to pretend that they found way more than they actually did. That was the issue.
What I see is that I was able to confirm all the stuff because people are saying, oh, do you have absolute confirmation? Do you have absolute confirmation? If we never reached out to him, would we have absolute confirmation? I mean, yeah, there is the picture, but people, supposedly the picture wasn't enough, is what I've been seeing, which I think is pretty ridiculous.
Hold on, what picture? The picture of them
The
meeting
picture
up?
of them meeting up, yes.
Okay, but do we know before that he knew about his age? Because there's a difference between him messaging someone.
Okay, so
And
are you
then he
saying
can
that,
be
are you
his
saying it was
friend.
okay? Are you saying it was okay?
I'm not
for Chris
saying it's
Tyson
okay.
to
I'm not
message
saying
a
it's
minor
okay.
inappropriately and joke
I'm
about some
saying
news
we
to him?
need
Are
to
you
know
saying
his
that was
age.
okay?
I'm saying we need to
That's
know
his
his age.
responsibility.
Hey, fellas.
Are you saying?
Relax,
Are you
relax.
saying? Are you saying that if someone
Oh, so he didn't even know he was a minor. If he's fighting so much on this, that's what it sounds like.
sleeps with a minor, you're saying, oh, they can just pull the, oh, I didn't know their age card, and then just
No,
get off
that's not
scot free?
what
Is
I'm
that what you're
saying,
saying?
no.
So
I'm
why
asking
are you getting all angry at me for? What are you
Because
getting angry at me for?
you didn't confirm the age. You didn't know.
Yeah,
if
I
Chris
reached out to
Tyson
a lot of
was
people.
No, dude, shut
I
the
didn't
fuck
think
up.
you-
and
Okay,
let
let's
me
bring the
talk.
temperature
Oh,
down.
yeah,
Okay.
you want to disrespect me? You want to disrespect me? Why do I have to continue talking to you? Why don't I
Let's
just
just
you right now?
Smaggle. Just calm down. There's no need. I understand
No,
the people in chat that want
I
blood
see
sports.
why he's upset.
I think-
I see why he's upset because, people were trying to say I was being transphobic because I was calling out this guy for being a
What?
creep. Is
Hold
that
on,
why
hold
you're
on. Wait a
upset?
second. I'm not. What? You would say, dude?
I literally hopped on this stream and I saw a girl saying that, there's an
I'm
agenda.
not. I'm not here because I'm mad at you because you think that trans people don't exist. That's not what I'm
Well,
mad
you're
about.
certainly mad at
I'm-
me. I can hear it in your tone.
Yeah, I am mad at you because
Yeah, you're mad at
A,
me.
you the first person you thought of was going to another fucking pedophile before Chris
That was
Tyson.
not the first person. That was
Dude,
not the
Oh,
first
sorry.
person. I reached out to
The
Charlotte
first
Chris.
person. The first person was Chris Chan, the guy that fucked his
That was not the
No,
first
That was
person.
the
also
first
no.
person.
We
Yeah,
That is
I'm
false.
sorry, I forgot you.
Wrong. That is false.
Who was the first
Completely
person
false.
then?
First person
Multiple
I reached
people,
out to
multiple
was
commentary
my
channels
turning point,
before.
was a news website, was a journalist. I tried to get this out to people. I exhausted all my resources. The average person doesn't have connections. I didn't have connections, but I did know how to contact.
So you thought the best course of action was going to EDP?
Best course of action. It's what I had. You really think it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows against a channel that has 132 of the world's population subscribed to them? Do you honestly think that?
I also think that, no. Dude, I can't see anything else. I've mind fucked myself. Every accusation is a confession, okay? When people come into my chat, and I realize it now, and I'm seeing it now, when that guy came in my chat earlier and he said, oh, you're just defending Chris or whoever, I don't even give a fuck with this person. You're defending this person because they're trans. What you're actually saying is, I just want to make the accusation because they're trans. That's the only reason you give a fuck about this. That's why you're so obsessed about this. That's what's happening here. Yeah, and then the self-victimization. Oh, I'm supposed to go against a channel with 132 of the world's population. What do you think Mr. Beast's gonna call a fucking hit on you? You think Mr. Beast is gonna order your assassination? You either have a good story or you don't, dude. Is there a big risk if you get it wrong? I guess maybe. You're not even anybody on the internet. Not to say that not to little bro anybody, but just it's not like you got an internet reputation or career at stake. And if you have a good story, right, you could literally create an entire career out of this. So I mean, there's a huge upside for you as well.
I think that any normal person would look through, what has EDP done in the last few years, and not go through him because he is a bad about. He's showing his shit to kids.
Listen, I appreciate the content, Brain. I know that some people want blood sports, okay? But clearly that is not the way to get the best out of this conversation, okay? Yes, I think we can all agree going to EDP is fucking retarded, okay? However, what I would say is I at least understand the logic a little bit because EDP did call out Chris from Mr. Beast, right?
And Keemstar talked about it too. And people were talking about it. I literally had friends that said, hey, look, you did it. He's covering it. And I could just send him all the other information and then have him talk about it, but then he wouldn't do it.
Okay. I understand from the perspective of, someone like yourself who clearly is not about this life, doesn't do the YouTube thing, having that kind of mentality. I think it's retarded, to be clear, but I do at least understand
It is
your
retarded.
perspective. Okay.
And then
No, it was a stupid move. It was a stupid move.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
no. So the logic behind it is stupid, all right? But if it wasn't for that, I literally wouldn't even have talking to Vertius. I wouldn't have gotten involved with other people, and those videos wouldn't have been made and gotten out there if it wasn't for the fact I reached out to EDP. So, the information's out now, and if I didn't reach out to EDP, the information wouldn't have been out. And it's because I wouldn't have uploaded those videos because there's another guy who we can't talk about who was essentially that put pressure on us to release these videos. And he didn't directly tell us, but I can't
why
talk about
is there this pressure? I
Why?
don't understand this pressure argument. Why do you have any pressure? You're like nothing channel.
We will,
Yeah, what is the
I
pressure?
can't talk
will
about
be
that.
discussed in another video.
You can't talk about that? What do you mean? You can't say why there's pressure?
We'll discuss
Hold
it
on.
in
If
the
you
other
can't
video. I
talk
know-
about it, then why
Yes,
bring it
I
up in
can't
the
talk
first
about it.
place?
Because
Why
that's
bring
what
it up in the
happened.
first place?
That's what happened.
Bullshit.
Look, listen. From my perspective, right? I wasn't there when he reached out to EDP, right? I can say it is stupid to reach out to a predator, a known predator, right, and try to get him to cover something about, somebody else, right? Did he reach out to people before EDP? Yes.
Yes.
But I think it was
Okay.
so stupid.
I
I think he could have
also
done it
reached
better,
out to Chris
and we
Tyson's
will,
wife,
we will
too.
learn, right? We will
I've
learn
got to be honest,
not do
Verdius,
that.
you seem like the organ grinder, okay? And you seem like the monkey, to be honest with you. Let's hear more from Verdius about this for a sec, okay?
All right.
Smaggle, have you got a question or a point you want to bring to the table to move forward?
Yes. So my question is, when did
On call with reporters, former President Trump says he will commit to debating VP Harris, but is not thrilled with ABC as debate host. Says he'd be willing to do more than one debate as well. Ooh, shit.
you record this interview with the minor, with Lava, and why did
Just during the stream, was your take that it was weird, but the person isn't a pedophile? I don't know if they're a pedophile or not. In my mind, I don't know how you can masturbate to lolicon and not have an attraction to like minors or like minor children. I don't understand that. I've just never gotten that. But
didn't you include the interview in the original video?
Okay, so
But hey, listen. But also, listen. If you want to jerk off to fucking whatever the fuck, knock yourself out. Just don't rape any kids. But it seems weird that it's gonna be like, oh yeah, like I fucking love lolly, but I'm not attracted to minor bodies at all. Okay.
things, right? The interview, we still had to look through multiple sections of it, right? We had to like depict, okay, he said this here, he said this here. Okay, did we ask him this correctly? There was like information that was, we wanted to double check. And the video, we released it without the interview because, again, I don't want to keep going in circles, but we should have, put the interview in the video. That's a good point. I'm not even going to argue that, but we are going to do that, I think maybe within the next, I would say maybe 2 weeks, we're going to release a much bigger and more comprehensive video where the interview is going to be also there. The interview should have been in the video. You're right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Smaggle, please go on. What else have you got for me?
And also, sorry, one more thing. The interview is really long as well, so it could be a video of its own. Just a little side points, but it's still irrelevant.
Actually, I want Prism to answer this because I found a comment. Some other people have found the comment that Lava put out like 4 weeks ago. I sent it to Chud saying this video is not true and disgusting. Ava Chris has never done anything wrong, and for you to make up these lies and create this narrative is just wrong. Also, when you interviewed me for a supposed editing job, why did you lie? So you can take.
Okay, I'm not trying to listen. Okay, my lips to move. I had a lisp. Okay, I'm not trying to make fun of people with lisp or anything like that. But is this, is Bo Black's a person with a lisp? Are there multiple commentary people with lisps, or is this the same person as I was thinking before? Does Bo Blacks have a lisp, or am I thinking of somebody else? It's a Gundam? Is it partially because of his accent?
So after Coney Connors made their tweet alleging that Dr. Disrespect sent inappropriate...
Oh no, he doesn't have it either. Never mind.
I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything I can be upfront about, and I'm always...
No, this isn't even a lisp, and this guy doesn't have a lisp either.
Take the clips out of context. This is disgusting. And then Prism says, care to comment why when you were 14?
There's a name. Hold on, I should know this. Name for when you cannot pronounce R. Rhoticism? Is that what it's called? Apparently the R sound, I think, is the hardest sound to produce in the English language. Somebody can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I think it's the most difficult one. So this will be the one that in development, children oftentimes will have the most trouble with if they do have trouble, I believe.
Yo.
Hi, what's up?
You want to talk about Ava Chris Tyson?
Yeah, I started looking into it. I was hoping for some juicy shit. It just seems kind of boring and dumb to me. Should I care? Is there anything to care about here?
So, to me, I know you have a personal, different opinion than me on this, but I find the lolly shit pretty gross, but that's the grossest thing that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, as far as the interactions with minors, like, people are tweeting out saying that they're, like, grooming a kid. They're saying that they're manipulating children, that Chris left his family to message minors. And obviously the implication, right? If you say message minors, the implication behind that is like they're messaging like, here's my fucking trans dick.
Yeah,
whatever,
it's
right?
really
Like,
disingenuous. And then when he said something about like linked revenge porn to minors, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But he made a YouTube video, and then they had the fappening shit or whatever with that one actress, but it was just in the YouTube video description. He's not like sending DMs to minors with links to it or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know if Jeanette McCurdy was underage when those got out. Obviously, that's pretty bad. But
Which I don't think she
also,
was.
I
Yeah.
mean, I can't deny that when I was 17 or 16, I didn't look at the fucking fappening. Okay, I was looking at Jennifer Lawrence. I was like, whoa, that's cool, you know. And I don't think you should spread that as a public content
Wait,
creator.
you were looking at leaked revenge porn nudes of people, you said? Turkey Tom?
Yeah, absolutely.
You consumed a lot of revenge porn when you were a minor, you said?
Absolutely.
Okay, while saying the N-word?
While saying the N-word.
Hey. Okay, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
To be clear, I don't think that's a good thing to do. But
Say
you know,
the
when
N-word,
you're in high
consume
school,
revenge porn, or be a minor?
Be trans. No, just kidding. Realistically, though, yeah, I mean, the lolly stuff to me is the worst part, and I think people are kind of missing the point of the Shadman stuff. And I wish commentary channels weren't glossing over the Shad stuff, because to me, there's a lot more substance there. Shadman wasn't just a lolly artist, okay? You know, I don't like lolly stuff, but if you want to make the argument, oh, it's not real children, you know, whatever. It's kind of a stalemate in my opinion there, right? There's not much I can really say.
But he drew
But
caricatures
Shad
of
drew-
like real people, right?
Caricatures is putting it lightly. Shadman was like fawning over Daphne Keene, the actress in Logan, and
Okay.
like DMs. He was like, she's an IRL lolly. I love her so much. And then he drew her being raped by Hugh Jackman. And then her management saw it and got his website shut down. And this
Okay.
is like a consistent problem for him, right? So it's like
An IRL
you know,
lolly. Jesus.
yeah, he was. My opinion is that Shadman is a pedophile. Did he molest anyone? No. My opinion is that he is attracted to children. I think I think you probably have to be a pedophile to draw a real child that you see in real life, fantasize about her, and then draw her being raped. I think that's probably pedophilia. But people are not talking about that, and instead they're talking about this investigation stuff, all these DMs. Some of the DMs that I've seen, not from that one guy's video, but some of the DMs I've seen released on Twitter seemingly have already been proven to be fake. And their DMs, I think, Drama Alert and some other account posted. Some of them, I think, do appear to be real, like Snapchat messages, but to me, they're contextless. The biggest thing for me is figuring out what else was going on in those conversations, because in and of itself, like, you know, Chris Tyson at 22 making like edgy, sexual, gross jokes to like people who are 14, 15, that is pretty, you know, it's foul. It's foul. But the question for me is, can it be chalked up to like irresponsibility, or is there like explicit proof that he was like trying to like meet up with these kids and do shit like that? Like seemingly when that one person, what was their name? From that kid's video where he's sitting on the picnic table, Lava or whatever, that guy, he first of all said that nothing bad happened between him and Chris. So
Which
already
also
like,
doesn't matter really that much, though, because technically, if it's a grooming victim, you would expect them to defend the abuser. Not to say that Ava is an abuser, but I'm just saying. But yeah, but I mean, like the fact that you already don't have anything from them, yeah.
It's that combined with the lack of anything
Yeah,
substantial. And if they had been like sexting and talking about nudes and then they met up, obviously that's a pedophilia thing. But from what I can tell from the DMs, they look very bad. But considering that they met up with Mr. Beast, and then I think he was like, they played Uno together. It's disgusting. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, obviously there's, you know, stuff to criticize Chris for. Chris does seem to be kind of a freak in some ways. But is Chris a
Wait, are they
child
still, or are all
molesting-
of these DMs and all of these interactions like 4+ years old?
From what I've seen, they're all pre-2020,
Mm-hmm.
including all the Shadman tweets are pre-2020 as well. Now, the Shadman stuff does bother me quite a bit, and I would question Chris on that for sure.
Sure.
But beyond that, the other stuff I've seen seems to be reaching. I got to look into it more, but it seems to be kind of reaching for something, grasping at straws. And once again, I feel like the real point you could get Chris Tyson on is getting lost. And any Shadman criticisms are going to go out the window once Chris or anyone from the Mr. Beast camp responds, because they're going to be like, all these people are claiming that Chris groomed a kid, which didn't happen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my understanding so far. But maybe there will be more when I look into it, where I'll be like, Chris is a fucking, whoa, Chris pedo. But I haven't seen that.
Uh-oh. Oh. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Tom. And hello, Steven.
Wow, you still have
Hi,
perms
who
in
are
this
you?
Discord. This is a legendary friend of the stream.
Well, wait, is this?
Wait, is this? This is Anavar. Hi.
No way. Yo, what's up, Anna?
Wait, stop. Okay, hold on. I'm not. I got a lot of shit to do today. Give me your 1 minute take. What do you want? Go ahead.
My 1 minute take is that isn't it bad enough though that she bought art from Shadman, knowing? Well, I guess she could claim that she didn't know.
Yeah, I think, but what Tom is saying is probably true in that, like, and then this also ties into what I was saying about, like, Israel, Palestine. People, instead of, like, criticizing a thing, people go instantly to the worst possible thing, and then it makes it impossible to talk about any underlying bad thing. So, for instance, I think there's probably arguments to be had that the widespread distribution of lolicon is not the best thing. There's probably really strong arguments that the widespread distribution of lolicon drawn of particular people isn't a good thing. And if you believe that, there's a really good argument that you probably shouldn't financially support those people. But that conversation is completely off the table now because now everybody's just obsessed over whether or not Ava has groomed and like raped a minor. Like that's the issue. Yeah. Nobody can even talk about the other thing.
I think that's exactly it. Like I agree, Anna. Like what Chris did do is very bad, but the conversation publicly is being completely taken away from that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, you see? I'm glad you see.
That's kind of a shame because I don't know. I guess I find that kind of disturbing though to buy art from lolicon. I mean, okay, isn't part of the issue though that like not only like the funding of lolicon, it's called lolicon, I think, right? I'm sorry, I don't know the terms.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. That would be the term, I think, yeah.
But that the viewing of it could possibly exacerbate certain people's
Inclinations to rape kids.
Inclinations to perpetrate. Yeah, can't.
I have no idea. I don't think there's ever been any research linked to that. But it's probably a really hard topic to research. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Okay.
Well, before you leave, will you praise Skibidi or no, Anna?
Praise
what do you think?
Skibidi. Sure.
Don't do that. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, a Cheeto.
What do you want, Cheeto?
Oh, Cheeto.
Hello, Thomas. I was just going to ask something because we're talking about Shadman right now. I'd seen Keemstar put out a tweet saying that he had a private conversation with Chris Tyson about the fact that Shadman had drawn his daughter when she was, I believe, 8 years old, like giving head to Donald Trump. And in Keemstar's tweet, basically says like he's still upset about it or something. And
wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. I short-circuited halfway through that sentence. I'm sorry. Shadman drew whose daughter?
Keemstar's.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. And then Keemstar was still upset about that. Okay.
Yeah, and I would be very curious because Keem hasn't like said anything that Chris didn't know about like this history or anything, right? Which is like you'd think that you would want to include that when discussing the situation. You know what I mean?
If you're that much of a Shadman fan, where you're buying his art and you're like responding to a lot of his posts, you probably know what he's been doing. I would.
That's what I'm saying is that people are going to say that Chris, like they're going to suggest that there was no idea and that they just commissioned this artwork and the sample size of what they made seen from Shadman is not adequate enough to prove that she knew about lolly stuff. But then just to see this as like Chris not pleading ignorance themselves, or at least likely not, as Keemstar didn't mention it. I feel like that's like a pretty big indictment on them, no?
Maybe. Okay, all right, I'm bored of this topic because this is fucking cringe. I thought there's going to be some crazy shit happening. Any final thoughts?
She was 10.
Based.
Okay.
Despacito.
Yeah, okay.
Can you praise Skibidi before you leave?
Shut up.
Kimmy
Bye.
Marie?
Leave. See you later. Okay. This is so gross. These tweets are so disgusting. Fuck, have I become like a woke tard? Give it to me straight. How long will it take to blow 51% of America? I'm crying at the amount of people who've wished death on me for this tweet. I think maybe I'd feel differently about it if I knew that this person wasn't supporting like the least qualified presidential candidate of all time. Like people like, Kamala Harris. Like if you compare just like records in terms of like time served in government. prosecutor in, I think she was a DA in San Francisco, attorney general in California, vice president for 4 years. She was a sitting senator. I don't know why I said sitting senator. She was a senator. Like, she's not qualified. What are Trump's qualifications, bro? Oh, shit. Do I want to? Is it? Is this worth it? I don't know. This is like funny enough for how edgy it is. Okay, DGG chat. You guys are the arbiters of this one. 1 second. Nathan screaming, no, no, no. Uh-oh. Ava found it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Is this worth tweeting? Oh, there's enough yeses in chat. That one's going out. Did he just say retarded? Okay. Don't care about this.
That group of like election deniers, I think without it,
What is this?
before I move to that, just on this, it's really hard for him to call out that group of like election deniers, I think, without it always feeling
Well,
like.
why call them out?
Because it's arguably one of the most destructive forces that exist in this country today.
Did it destroy anything?
Oh, we're talking about. I think we just watched the video of the Biden speech with the red.
That looked like
the red background.
Did it destroy anything?
They were trying to.
Did it, though? It didn't, did it?
So does that mean we don't call it out? We wait till next time?
No, because calling it out is giving fuel to the division. Like, the people that doubted the validity of the election, that's anger, that's frustration with the other side. You heal that as opposed to saying all those people that believed that at any time are idiots. They're un-American.
I mean, they don't think the election was real. I don't know if Biden has the ears of these people at all. I don't know what he can do for.
There's people that believe the same thing in 2016 with the Russian hacking, right? There's.
Okay. We're about to have a volcano go off. Yellowstone can't go off. If Yellowstone goes off, I think like half the world gets destroyed, right? That's a myth. Oh, okay.
Can I ask why you feel like passing the torch to Biden to Kamala negates the January 6th talk? Because basically the argument was that the individual voters should decide the outcome of an election. I think that was the problem that people like had with January 6th, is people said that why are you contesting this? People voted for this, and now you're mad about the vote. But the problem is that if you have a candidate that's put up there that was not explicitly voted for directly, then you can't make an argument as strong against democracy or fighting against for democracy when your candidate was not democratically elected to be president. There is a system that does this. Like, if you can't see that double standard, you are too invested.
I understand what he's saying, but usually it just comes down to understanding the process. I don't hate this guy, but why do we always listen to his takes? Because Asmongold is he's like a guy. He's one of like 7 people on the internet who has some foundational beliefs and then some logical schema that he can like run problems through and then generate a take that is unique to him. He's like one of the few people on the internet that'll do that. I don't agree with that all the time, but I think I could probably argue with him and have a conversation where it's like, well, hey, here's what this process is actually for. I don't think it's anti-democratic because of these reasons. Like I think you could have the conversation. I mean, I can't right now because I'm banned from Twitch and he's streaming, but. Motherfucker lied about his ear, and I was community noted for speaking the truth. Wait, what?
Can you see that? I think it's over the net.
Wait, I'll get it over.
That's over the net?
Yeah. I got in trouble for that. We don't see that, dude.
Over the net? Can you see that? I think it's over the net.
Wait, I'll get it over.
What, is this like super recent? I'm guessing since it comes from TikTok, I'm guessing people would know. I don't know. It's so crazy. I'm not implying a conspiracy or whatever. But like the chances that he got shot in the ear and it was just so minor that it was just enough to cause like bleeding but no permanent damage, and obviously didn't blow his head off or anything. Like that's so wild how unfathomable. It was like so precise in terms of like how lucky that shot was. It was like just the perfect amount of damage to like have his moment and everything and then not have any like actual damage or whatever. Supreme Court ruling for Trump versus U.S. question. I'm not familiar with U.S. court documents. As someone who read it, does the syllabus refer to the agreed upon ruling before the opinion? Also, as Chief Justice commented on it. I don't know what any of this question means. Does the syllabus refer to the agreed upon ruling before the opinion? There wasn't a ruling before the opinion. We're talking about the immunity one. Can you finish what you were saying about Kamala on January 6 differences? I mean, there's no comparison to be made. For the Kamala thing, people are upset because they think that you should vote in the primary for a candidate, and people voted kind of for Biden, but now Biden is stepping down, so they're saying, oh, well, it's anti-democratic that his delegates can pass off to Kamala. But I mean, you're voting for the ticket of Biden and Kamala. So the idea that if Biden dies, Kamala would now be on the ticket shouldn't really be that surprising or shocking or feel that crazy. That's kind of like the more emotional powered argument, I would say. The more logical powered argument is that the convention isn't until from a procedural point of view, there's just no argument at all. But most people don't know the procedure at all. When you're voting in primaries, like you're basically just telling delegates who to vote for. The delegates don't actually cast their vote until you get to the DNC and you have your Democratic convention, and then there the delegates are allowed to cast their vote for the candidate that they think is the most appropriate. And how the delegate system and all that works is like nothing has been violated there. But people don't really know anything about how elections anywhere in the United States works, even for even for like elections for president. Like, yeah, but whatever. Is that historically how it's always worked? I don't know. Historically, we've shuffled around how we do elections quite a bit. I don't know if you would ever say, like, historically, this is how elections have gone in the U.S. when it comes to the parties and the nominations. We've changed up things quite a bit. Like, even in terms of, like, how electors are chosen in states, we didn't always do popular votes in states. Like, I don't think there's any consistent schema for U.S. elections. They've all changed quite a bit. Anything in particular you'd like to see out of Biden policy-wise or even rhetoric now that he's got 6 months left as a lame duck? No, I don't think anybody cares or is even looking at Biden. I mean, he should pass what he can. I'm just looking for Kamala needs to be a fucking shark. It needs to be attack. It has to be the age thing has to be brought up a ton now. That's like the easiest secret weapon. How old are you? 90, 100, 110? Like, do you feel comfortable standing across from me on stage, given that you are a convicted felon and I have like 10 years as a prosecutor? Like, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. Okay, like it just needs to be like constant. I think it just needs to be constant harping on his like personal record, on all the insane shit that he's been involved in, on her record. Like, yeah, I just am. What about the claims that Kamala Harris withheld evidence from prisoners on death row that Tulsi Gabbard made? Was that all just made up? I don't even know about this. Kamala Harris, evidence, death row. Looking at the ruling, it seems to be an opinion per the website, meaning a justice has offered their opinion on it. My guess is that since this doesn't make sense to you, I must be mistaken. Wait, I can't tell if you're trolling me or if you're legitimately just not American. Totally not Mark. You better not be a fucking bonger. You better not be bonging. I swear to fucking God, if I hear a bonger accent, you're getting banned.
My Hero Academia is...
Okay. When a Supreme Court issues an opinion on a thing, okay, when they write an opinion, first the Supreme Court has to hear a case, all right? Once they've heard the case, what'll happen is the court, all right, right now there should be 9 Supreme Court justices on the court. All of the different judges will come to a decision about if they agree or if they disagree with the decision from the lower court, which is usually a circuit court, okay? So for our federal courts, it goes, first is a district court, then it's a circuit court. There's 11 circuits, I think, in the U.S., plus D.C., I think. And then the Supreme Court, our federal Supreme Court. Or the federal Supreme Court will take a case that went up to a state Supreme Court, right? So the states have their own court systems, and then their highest courts. From there, it'll bounce to the Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court hears a case, they decide whether to agree or disagree with the lower court's ruling. And when they do that, they write an opinion of the court. The majority opinion, okay, meaning the one that most of the judges agreed with this opinion, is the one that is considered the opinion that when it's talking about what was specifically before the court in the decision from the lower court, this is the controlling or this is the holding opinion that's written by whoever decides to write that opinion. So even though it's called an opinion, it's like the ruling itself will be whether or not you vacate or hold. You can do other things too, but whether or not you basically agree with the lower court or disagree with the lower court, that'll be like the ruling, and then the opinion is going to be the legal argumentation or justification for why you ruled the way that you did. So the majority opinion, even though it says just opinion, these are your big legal statements about the particular thing when they're writing specifically about the topic that was before the court. If that makes sense.
Yes, hello?
What?
I would just like to personally ask you to invite Totally Not Mark to anything else, and you owe me because of the amount of problems you have caused for me booking these things, okay?
Good, based. Okay, totally not Mark. Email bridges@destiny.gg, okay? And come on to our show, okay? We'll fly you out. Love you. Got him.
What times are the shows usually? Do you know?
11 a.m. Saturdays?
No. No. Anything else is never any 11 a.m.
Oh, anything else?
Yeah,
Wait, why do we
yeah.
want it for anything else?
Because I think you would be a really good fit for anything else.
Why? What does he even talk about on his channel mostly?
Anime.
Why would Dan talk about anime?
Oh my god, kill me. You're the worst.
No, fuck
God,
Dan. Bring him on Bridges. Why would we bring him for Dan? Fuck that.
Okay, he could come on both. In fact, we can film 2 in one day.
Okay, come. Yeah, 2 for 1 day. Okay.
Hey, good job.
Bye. Appreciate the crash course. I just wanted to confirm myself that the ruling was as bad as it sounded and read rather than anything else. It's kind of hard to navigate the rulings if you don't have like kind of some kind of legal understanding. Like when I'm reading these, I'm looking up I'm looking up a lot of stuff to get more background and more understanding. It's pretty hard to do it. It's just like if you're just reading like a syllabus, that'll kind of give you. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's nice to have a little bit of legal analysis to understand what's going on. But yeah, there's like hardly anybody online you can watch that I think is very trustworthy. But yeah. Why does the Decoding the Guru subreddit have so many posters? I don't know if they all are from my subreddit and they're like all actively posting there, which I guess sucks for them, but okay. I was going to research this topic real quick, but somebody linked me a TikTok video or a Twitter video, so.
Didn't lock up no black people. In fact, she actually got black people out of fucking prison with her Back on Track program. The first in the nation re-entry program that she introduced back in 2000.
You said Biden was 50-50 to beat Trump. What is your current take on Kamala? I have no idea. Ask me in a month and I'll have a better guess.
When she was DA of San Francisco. The program was designed to get first-time drug offenders out of prison if they were caught with marijuana or crack cocaine. So what the fuck are y'all talking about? In exchange of them getting a GED and an education, they got no prison time and their records was expunged. So where this data coming from? Because last time I checked, her predecessor, Terrence Hallinan, who was DA before Kamala Harris, locked up 137 people and put them to state prisons for marijuana. Kamala Harris decreased that to 45. Maybe she did it as a put them to state prisons for Hallinan, who is DA, but this data coming from? Because last time I checked, her predecessor, Terrence Hallinan, who was DA before Kamala Harris, locked up 137 people and put them to state prisons for marijuana. Kamala Harris decreased that to 45.
There's like so many other questions that you would have to ask about this. I don't know if I care that much. Like what is a marijuana arrest? Does that mean that you got arrested with marijuana? Like, so say for instance, I rape and murder, 15 people in my apartment, and the cops come in and they find me and they arrest me and they also find marijuana here. Is that a marijuana arrest because it was one of the charges that was levied? Or are these for singularly only for marijuana use arrests? Like you get pulled over for a traffic stop and they find marijuana on it. Like, I'm not saying that this guy's wrong. I just you need so much more information with these. It says in the picture. Source, marijuana conviction data from San Francisco DA's office. Marijuana arrest data from this, blah, blah, blah. Conviction rate aside, only 45% of people were sentenced to state prison for marijuana convictions during Harris's 7 years in office, compared with 135 people during Hallinan's 8 years, according to data from the State Corrections Department. That only includes individuals whose most serious conviction was for marijuana. That only includes individuals whose most serious conviction was for marijuana. Okay, so it doesn't really tell you. So they could have had other charges too. I don't know what marijuana in California, that must be just a misdemeanor, right? Well, now I don't think it's anything. I don't know what it was back then though. I don't know. But less serious charges? Well, it depends on what charge the marijuana was. If marijuana was was a class B or C misdemeanor or something in California, there's a lot of, I think, charges that theoretically could have been kind of bad. I don't know if assault or anything. These are probably all going to be felonies, I would imagine. I bet the worst type of, or the best whatever assault is probably misdemeanor, right? But regardless, I understand. You always need more information than just these simple charts, But also, I'm not saying he's necessarily wrong. He could be right. He's not misrepresenting that. I'm just saying I always like to have more information.
Maybe she did it as Attorney General. I think the fuck not. When Kamala Harris was Attorney General, every year marijuana admissions decreased from 1,800 her first year to 135 her last. Well, Kamala Harris blocked evidence that could have freed a black man from death row didn't happen. Kevin Cooper was arrested and sentenced in 1985 when Kamala Harris was still in damn college, okay? That man had got 2 DNA tests that did not exonerate him, and he was denied at the Attorney General at the time by the name of Jerry Brown. Get your damn facts and your dates right, bitch. Kamala Harris was Attorney General, not during that motherfucking time. And he was denied by the governor at the time, who was Arnold Schwarzenegger in California. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. They struck it down too, meaning he was all out of fucking appeals. But lucky for him, we got a new damn governor, Gavin Newsom, who actually granted him another DNA test, and we still have yet to find out if he's innocent or guilty. And the thing that hurts most is y'all keep retweeting this damn video by Tulsi Garbage, and I said her name right, Garbage, because that's what the fuck she is. She's anti-LGBT. She believes in conversion therapy. She was endorsed by David Duke, the Grandmaster of the KKK. She spent most of her time on Fox News talking shit about Barack Obama. And just 2 weeks ago, she talked about there's anti-whiteness as if that's a motherfucking thing. And here's the sad shit about it. When the state prison's spokesperson
Tulsi Gabbard is the female version of RFK.
asked them, hey, Tulsi, where'd you get this damn data from? She said, oh, well, we can't cite our sources. Meaning they made it the fuck up.
True. I am Biden maxing. Why? Thoughts on Tulsi Gabbard? She's just another anti-establishment weirdo, wacko, dipshit. Ah, and I had that ultra softball conversation with her, didn't I? Oh, I think wasn't Tim there too? Kill me, fam.
Sorry, I don't want to kick you out of your chair. All good. Go into their.
Fuck me, dude. Fuck me and fuck these guys.
One more thing. Okay, quickly for booking. Do you have anything booked for Thursday?
Let me check.
Your schedule that I have doesn't show anything.
The dentist appointment at 11 o'clock? 3 p.m. I have nothing? Why? What do you want to do?
Richard Hanani wants to call in and do like a long form conversation with you.
Oh, we're just on stream?
Yeah, he can't come out to Bridges anytime soon.
Fuck him then. Block him. Tell him when he's ready to show up and put up.
God, you make my job so hard.
Okay.
Okay, so Thursday 3 p.m. works?
Sure.
Okay. Do you prefer? I'm gonna try to get him on Discord, but if it's not Discord.
Discord works. Otherwise, Zoom is fine.
Okay, Zoom. Okay. Sorry, what?
How are you faring today? Did you get your Rollo Tomasi lawsuit in the mail yet?
I haven't. Have you?
Not yet.
I can't tell who wants to sue more, me or you.
I don't know. We'll see. Okay, just checking.
Yeah, no, don't have it.
Careful.
Hey, bye.
New attack ad against Kamala Harris. Rob C. donated $15. Wow, thanks, bud. People often argue this in bad faith. The big one that sends people to prison is a parole violation where they break the rules and test positive for marijuana. This message is probably going to come through to later. Oh, cool. Okay.
If you thought Joe Biden was radical, just wait until you get to know Kamala Harris. She's dangerously liberal.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. You know, for far too long, the status quo thinking has been to believe that by putting more police on the street, you're going to have more safety. And that's just wrong.
You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct.
People who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Absolutely fucking based. I don't understand. I wish I had all the time in the world. I just want to read. There must have been a Supreme Court ruling on depriving felons of the right to vote. How is that possible that felons in the U.S. don't have the right to vote? Actually, wait, does anybody have the right to vote? No. The only issue is, I think it's a 14th Amendment issue. It's if The state grants you the right to vote. Equal protections apply. No, because I was going to say, so if you say that felons can't vote, then that would just be a rational basis review, but it wouldn't be because a fundamental right to vote is implicated. So that would be a strict scrutiny review. What is this it? Was a landmark decision by the Supreme Court in which the court held 6-3 that convicted felons should be barred from voting. How? Richardson v. Ramirez, 1974. After the 3 individual respondents who had been convicted of felonies and had completed their sentence paroles were refused registration to vote in 3 different California counties respectively because of their felony convictions, they brought a class petition on behalf of themselves and all other ex-felons similarly situated for a writ of mandate in the California Supreme Court, naming its defendants, the Secretary of State, and the 3. In view of its unusual procedural history in the Supreme Court of California, the case is not moot. Okay. Wait, okay. After holding that the 3 first-named county officials' acquiescence did not render the case moot, because initially they didn't give a fuck, the California Supreme Court went on to hold that the constitutional and statutory provisions in question, as applied to ex-felons whose sentences and paroles had expired, violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, but did not issue the peremptory writ, or peremptory writ held. In view of its unusual, the Supreme Court's action in adding petitioner as a named defendant after the... Wait, so it held that they... register to vote as ex-felons. Wait, so are they allowed to vote? Hold on. Depends on the state. What is the argument for why someone who has violated the rules have a say on what the rules are? Because the rules still apply to you, and you still pay taxes, and you participate in the system and everything else, right? You should still have a buy-in to society. You should still have a say in how society's ran, no? Wait, somebody's saying it's Supreme Court of California versus the Supreme Court? I don't think this is the one I'm looking for. Was this? Maybe this wasn't a Supreme Court case. Is this? That was nonsense? What did I just say that was nonsense? Are you talking about prior felons or people still in prison? You might be able to argue that people in prison shouldn't be able to vote. Maybe. But ex-felons that have done their time? No, that's bullshit. You've served your time. You have done whatever we've decided is the punishment for a criminal, and now you're back in society. We've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast. Ooh, Ava has stepped away. Rip. Voting may be a right, but we do deprive people of rights all the time as punishment for a crime. There are certain rights that you deprive people of, but there are some rights that you never deprive people of. So, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about, right? Like, you can't, like, torture somebody. There's rules against cruel and unusual punishment, even for capital offenders. So that's a meaningless statement, right?
Good evening. No, afternoon. Late afternoon.
All right, what's up?
You know what's up.
The U.S. does have a registered sex offenders even after time served, right? Yeah, but I think you can make a compelling interest there to the state and to the protection of people in the state, right? Also, registering an address would probably be a rational basis review at, or maybe intermediate scrutiny, probably rational basis, and you probably just say that, like, yeah, like, there's a compelling interest here in keeping sex offenders away from children or whatever, or for citizens. That's probably not a big deal. It's probably an easy one to do. But when you're talking about a right to vote, you're talking about, like, a fundamental right. The state has to make a very, 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 very strong argument for why it could deprive a person of the right to vote. And I don't know what that argument would be for felons. There must be a Supreme Court case that speaks on this. But I don't know. I haven't read it before. There is no explicit right to vote in the Constitution. That's fine. There isn't an explicit right to vote in the Constitution. There is in the Constitution, however, speak of equal protections granted under the 14th Amendment. So if a state is going to provide the right to vote, then that means that it has to be provided on an equal basis to all of the citizens. And if you're going to deprive some citizens, then you need a really good argument not to do it, right? I believe that's the foundation of the 14th Amendment. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of the laws. You can't make laws that apply to some people and not other people unless you have a really good reason for doing so. Apple is a shit posting. Is the Richardson versus Ramirez case not what you were looking for? It didn't look like it, but I don't have time to read the whole fucking case. Section 2, latter sentences implicitly say voting can be abridged. Wait. Representatives should be apportioned among the several states according to Section 2 of the 14th Amendment. But when the right to vote at an election for the choice of electors for president and vice president of the United States or Congress or the members of the legislature is denied to any of the male inhabitants of such state being 21 years of age and citizens of the United States or in any way abridged except for participation in rebellion or other crime, the basis of representation therein shall be reduced and the proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear to the whole number of male citizens 21 years of age in such a state. Wait. No, this doesn't have anything to do with voting. This has to do with how you're... Wait, so felons don't count towards your count of representatives? I think that's what this means. Representatives, so Section 2 talks about the appointment of representatives, right? Representatives shall be appointed among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. But when the right to vote at any election for the choice of electors for president and vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress, the executive and judicial officers of a state, or the members of the legislature thereof is denied to any of the male inhabitants of such state, no, wait, hold on. But when the right to vote is denied to them, being 21 years of age and citizens of the United States, or in any way abridged except for participation in rebellion or other crime, the basis of representation therein shall be reduced and the proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear. Oh, okay. So for people that you deprive of the right to vote, you also lose those people in counting towards how many representatives you guess? Or you get, I think, if I'm understanding that correctly. That's where the court found their reasoning in Richardson versus Ramirez. So they read this as though, Wow. I wonder if there are Federalist Papers that talk about or other crime. Crime could include misdemeanors as well, right? Theoretically, that's kind of a interesting. And that's why counting illegal immigrants and census data has been such a big deal. Yeah, I still don't know why they do that. It's kind of weird. But I think it helps Republicans more than Democrats right now anyway. Hold on one second, I'll be right back. I'm really surprised that for an operation of Mr. Beast's size, I'm surprised they didn't do a massive, or they don't do like massive social media background checks on everybody. Were those Chris tweets and Facebook posts still up like a few days ago when that guy started screen capping everything? Or in Hunter
Only
v.
there was software to go through and delete that shit for them.
In Hunter v. Underwood, the Supreme Court did find it to violate equal protection to deny the right to vote for crimes of moral turpitude. And in Jones v. Governor of Florida, the court found that it was conditional or constitutional to deny re-enfranchisement of felons unless they pay their legal fees. I could understand that if you haven't paid your time, maybe. Prisons are used to gerrymander. They were long-term friends, maybe. Yeah, but you'd still do like a social media clean now. Yeah, I've got the Mr. Girl link up. It's one of our links here. We'll get to it. What the fuck is this?